my name is Lindy Sherries and I used to be a Sangoma. In this channel, I talk about everything, guys. Abokorobela, the secrets that we were taught not to share with you guys, how we used to trick you guys, the spirits, how everything works when you go to a Sangoma for consultation, Yamatambo. So whether you believe in God or don't believe in God, please check out this channel so we can talk about it. If you believe in God, let's share the gospel. If you don't believe in God, you can check out the channel too. I want to hear your opinion, and I want people to actually share their opinion, not insulting me without saying why. Thank you, and I'll see you on my channel.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being on my channel. This is Solomon Stample. My name is Uncle Solomon. Good to be with you. I hope you are doing very well. If you allow me, may I say that I offer YouTube training for a small fee. And so I can offer you the opportunity to see how you can make money, extra money, side hustles. But there are principles, in content creation on YouTube that I would like to share with you from my experiences that would help you. A lot of people don't get that, but you can use your passion, something you love to talk about, something you love to educate people with, to inform people, whether it's business, maybe it's teaching them something, or even preaching or teaching. You can create all of that content on YouTube, and sure enough, there are ways to make money off it. So reach out to me on this number, and we will take it from there. All right. So in the last few years, they've been talking a lot, been spoken about Reverend Archbishop Duncan Williams, the Ghanaian bishop. He is one of the African pastors who, for some reason, he loves to use the sword, maybe the sword of the spirit, right? He loves to use the sword, and whenever he has a guest in his church, a lot of them he presents and gives them a sword. And he wears rings that a lot of people actually look at it and like, hey, these rings are a bit unusual, right? So I want to give him a benefit of a doubt. I want to give him benefit of a doubt. You can wear any kind of ring. It's not the shape of the ring or the type of the ring. It's actually what the ring is for, right? And secondly, you have a sword. You give people sword, or you've given Jerry Eze a sword. Joshua Selman visited you, you gave him a sword. What does that really signify? Because a lot of people are becoming confused, or they are reading into it maybe an entirely different meaning to that sword presentation, to what his intentions are, right? So I saw this video that Archbishop Duncan Williams is actually saying that his father was a Freemasonry. He was a Freemason, and he was a top leader in the Freemasonry, right? So maybe he actually got some of these ideas from his father that he now brought into his Christian faith. Let's watch this video and hear him say himself that his father was a grand wizard in the Freemasonry world. Here.
Freemason, and he was a grand wizard for the Freemason. And my dad had a snake in the house we're living in, and he communicates with the snake by the lifting of the sword. Let the sword of vengeance go after them. Put your hands there. Command the sword. Command the sword. Give the sword a charge. Give the sword a command as I lift it up to go after them now.
Wow. Okay.
As the sword is lifted,
he gave Jerry Eze a sword. It's another leader.
Bring me the oil.
I deploy the sword to go with you, to go home with you. Let the sword go with you. Let the sword accompany you. Let these two swords accompany you home, to your office, to your church, to your workplace, to your father's house.
As Joshua Salmon.
Receive
Reçois
a weapon.
Right. So there we go. Is that the sword of the spirit or the sword of Freemasonry? A lot of people have been having conversations around that. And to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm on this side and I'm also on that side, you know, that kind of thing. I'm just sitting on the fence. Because we know how important the sword is from, you know, from a perspective of Freemasonry. And Duncan Williams has a history where his father was a grand wizard, a top leader in the Freemasonry. So is he continuing with the legacy of his father, masquerading as a church, as a pastor, as a bishop? Or is he just borrowing or just taking a practice that is done by the Freemasonry, but for him it's very important to talk about, because obviously the Bible spoke about, you know, the sword of the spirit. There are so many instances in scriptures where a sword represents authority, represent power, represent a conqueror, represent a whole lot of stuff. Is this just a reenactment of biblical truth? Because a lot of people actually in the last few years have given Bishop Duncan Williams a hard time for that. I don't know, you know, and as a journalist, I try to dig deep. Maybe I would hear some information from somebody close to Duncan Williams that could actually affirm that, look, hey, the guy is just masquerading scriptures and the Bible and church to continue to recruit Freemasonries. Because one of the confusing things is there are a lot of churches, a lot of pastors, bishops, apostles, and prophets in church, but they also Freemasons. They also involved in Freemasonry. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. They would never tell you at all. So please let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Let me play for you again one last time this video of Archbishop Duncan Williams saying, look, my father was a Freemason. He was actually a grand wizard, a top leader in the Freemasonry world.
Freemason, and he was a grand wizard for the Freemason. And my dad had a snake in the house we're living in, and he communicates with the snake by the lifting of the sword. Let the sword of vengeance go after them. Put your hands there. Command the sword. Command the sword. Give the sword a charge. Give the sword a command as I lift it up to go after them now.
As the sword is lifted,
Bring me the oil.
I deploy the sword to go with you, to go home with you. Let the sword go with you. Let the sword accompany you. Let these two swords accompany you home, to your office, to your church, to your workplace, to your father's house.
All right, guys, you know, the truth is sometimes it's not what we think, right? So that's why it's important for you not to jump to conclusion either on this side or on that side. But you have to critically look at this sort of like ceremony or presentation that you see. Again, like I said, there are a lot of pastors, prophets, bishops, apostles who lead churches, big churches, but they are part of the Freemasonry world. They are Freemasons. They combine both because of the security and the empowerment and the community that it gives them. When you use certain elements in the church, like, I mean, you heard him saying that his dad was a Freemason, grand wizard. Actually, his dad had a snake at home. So that's to tell you that Duncan Williams has seen quite a lot. You have to look at the sword carefully and look at the emblem on the sword. Look at what the sword, how the sword is made. And all of these things, I'd never really taken the time to analyze that for me to be able to come to a conclusion. But all I'm saying is, guys, we must not take certain things just the way they are presented to us. We must question stuff. It's okay to question stuff. It's okay to question your pastor, your bishop, or whatever. In that way, we can get to the truth. Thank you, guys. God bless.